So I bought this dress and I loved it. And it was a designer dress and it was like 1/10 of what it was retail. And I squeezed my little body into it and it just about fit. And I said to myself, well, if I keep this weight or stay a little bit less, I should be able to wear this dress. And I never did because it's just not right. Let's fix it. To take out the side that did not have the zipper, as you can see, this side has a zipper, and that would be just a lot more complicated to deal with. So it kind of came out beautifully here. I also took out the lining, and it goes right into the facing and the hem. And the whole point was, I was first going to put a satin strip here all the way along the side to give it kind of like a tuxedo look. But because of time constraints and trying to match the right black and fabrication, I thought of, why don't we take out the hem? So I took out the hem thinking I only need 1 inch, guys, to make this work, and I have about that much here. When I pressed out the hem, I thought I would have more of a line. It's not so bad, but as you can see, the hem is slightly curved. So I'm going to straighten out the hem, take out that, cut that piece, moving my lining inward underneath like this, and then drawing a nice straight line to use this hem as my insert, gusset, so to speak. Moving the lining out of the way, putting the hem together, and using my L square to get a nice perfect right angle. I'm going to put that on the side seam, and then drawing a nice straight line all the way across the hem. Now cutting along that drawn out edge, just one layer at a time. There's my piece for the gusset. Now analyzing the piece, if I want to go all the way down, I'm going to probably have to still use even where it the side seam was on this piece, which may not be as noticeable, I'm hoping. I'm trying to find the straightest part of this piece. As you can see, that the hem was curved, so I would imagine it is on the narrowed side. So I'm going to find the straightest edge with my 2x18 ruler, find the exact amount of width that I have, the largest width that I have, which is 1 1/8, it looks like, and try to draw out that 1 1/8 line all the way on this piece. Now cutting on that marked line very carefully. I happen to have the same type of lining that this dress was made in, which is like a rayon Bemberg lining. So it's not going to show, and the blacks are pretty close. I'm going to cut the exact width strip that I did for the outside for the inside. I'm actually going to use the salvage because I'm going to use that as one edge that is not going to fray. And I'm going to put down my ruler after I pressed it and cut a strip of the Bemberg. It looks like actually 1 1/4 inches is the thickest part of the self fabric. So I'm going to try to do the same here as well. I'm going to sew and mirror the two finished sides together at the edge here. I'm going to mirror the other side that was not serged before, just on the very tip, not taking anything off. So everything is marrowed and finished, the top part of the garment as well as the lining side seams here. Also put together is the lining here with the facing and then the self fabric. So everything is lined. And I realized that I still haven't cut the hem of the inside of the lining and marrowed the bottom of the dress. So I'm going to then have to make the lining shorter than the dress, obviously, so it doesn't show in the final scenario. Again, cutting that top layer on the new line. And then as it lays flat, and everything else is flat here on top, I'm going to cut the back part. So I have it even. Now I'm going to marrow the hem and we'll get to the sides. So I know that I have to have this meet where the facing is. This is the front. So I'm going to put this here at that intersection. And pin the edge like this. All the way down. And then all the way down the lining on one side of this. Now I'm just going to take exactly what is there and no more or no less as a seam. Let's do the other side. So I'm thinking the most important part would be underneath the arm, that these have to match where the facing starts and the side seam starts. I'm going to go ahead and put that, because the extension is here, that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and put a pin this way, making sure that that is fitting right where that ends, so that when I turn it back, it'll be turned back properly on both sides. So this is important. And then pinning along. So I'm just going to take a quick break to let you know that the more you understand how a garment is made, the more you understand about sewing, about pattern making, about designing, the easier it's going to be to do any kind of alteration, high-end or easy. And so I'm going to take this opportunity to say, now I have classes virtually on Zoom where they're live with you, or very, very small classes, anywhere from 3 to 5 students only working with me. And these are month-long classes, about 4-hour sessions a week, and they're going to be in the description box below. Check them out, because it has been something I've been wanting to do, as well as something that you guys have been asking for a while. All right, let's get back to this. Again, I pinned this here at the intersection of where the side underneath the arm is going to be, because that's crucial. Everything else really doesn't matter as much. And I pinned it all the way down to the lining. For this side, here's my extension inside, and then this side. I'm going to go ahead and sew from this point down, and then from this point down on the other side. Now I have it on the ironing board, and I'm going to put all the excess inward. I think it'll show less in the front. Putting that inside. Okay, now it's pressed. I'm going to turn it, and there is the extension, and I put the seam allowance inward towards the extension all the way down. There is the extension on the inside. And here is the extension on the outside. I just have almost 3/4 of an inch extension. I'm hoping that's going to be enough. It's nice here inside and outside. Let me go ahead and take up the hem so we can see if this fits. OMG guys, the extension is perfect. Just enough extra ease to glide off my body without pulling. I can actually wear a strapless bra underneath this. I am so pleased. The length isn't too short. I just did the minimum there. So there you go.